The peak of hurricane season, we're coming into that time of the year, and for pregnant women there needs to be some extra planning. And this morning, Dr. Tara Morse, OBGYN, is here with some great tips from Turo, and thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
They say 700,000 babies are born in August and September in this country, and so we can only imagine that there are a lot of people who are pregnant in our viewing area right now. And what kinds of things should they be doing to prepare?
So we really do recommend that they have a plan and that they talk to their family members and make sure that they know where they're going, and they get all the family members involved, including husbands, grandparents, everyone, so that they know where the evacuation time is. And then they also notify their doctor of where they're going. You know, I want to know where my patients are going so I can be prepared for that as too.
And then your doctor might be able to recommend someone. You might check with your insurance company to find out what hospital in that area that you're going to be going to.
Exactly, and that's really important because you would think with a hurricane and something in an emergency that you would have coverage at other hospitals out of state, but that is not always the case, and it's important for you to verify that with your insurance company.
Now is the time to do that kind of homework. And now what kind of medical documents should you take with you?
We always recommend, yes, we're in the era of electronic medical records, but in a hurricane situation, you may not have access to that. So we do recommend asking your doctor for a hard copy of your records to take with you. Make sure that they are packed in your emergency bag to leave in case of a hurricane. So you always have that hard copy. And for pregnant women, you really need to know your blood work, your blood type, and your ultrasound dating, and that's important.
Now, what kind of emergency kit should pregnant women have?
Yeah, so in a hurricane situation, obviously the basic emergency kit: first aid, flashlights, batteries, food, and water. And of course, when I mean food, I mean non-perishable food. So canned food, granola bars, nuts, things like that that aren't going to go bad.
High protein foods.
High protein foods for those pregnant women, especially women who are lactating as well. We can't forget those moms that have recently just given birth pre-hurricane season. They're going to need those high protein foods to make sure to maintain their diet and their breast milk supply.
Well, let's talk about feeding the baby. What do you do during an emergency? What do you recommend they have?
Well, of course, if you're breastfeeding, and of course August is National Breastfeeding Awareness Month, we do recommend breastfeeding at Toro. You know, it's easy, it's naturally clean, you don't have to sterilize anything. If you can continue to do that, that would be great. In the event that you are breastfeeding and don't feel comfortable breastfeeding in an emergency situation, try to bring a battery-operated breast pump with you. Those things will allow you to continue that process. And then also, for our non-breastfeeding moms, please have pre-made formula, 7 days worth. If not, you know, remember, boil your water before you give it to the baby. We know our water supply gets contaminated. Now,
during stressful situations, you can have a situation with preterm labor. What are the signs of preterm labor?
So, preterm labor by definition is delivery before 37 weeks. We tell parents and moms contractions, pain that feels like menstrual cramps every 10 minutes for at least 2 hours, all right? The change of like your urinary frequency, some of your vaginal discharge, and overall generalized malaise can be signs of preterm labor that pregnant women need to be aware of. And if they start to experience that, no matter where they are, they need to seek a medical attention immediately.
All right, Dr. Tara Morse, some very good information. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you can get more information by calling Turo at this number, 897-7011, or logging on to WWLTV.com and clicking on links. And we'll be right back.